the Starry-Eyed Podcast. My name is Brendan.
And I'm Jen. On this show, we chat about all things Williams syndrome.
The ups and downs and what it's like living with
and being a parent to someone with
Williams syndrome.
We're excited to share our community with you. Thanks for being here. Williams syndrome people who want to work at Disney. We're going to have Michelle. I'm going to make her create a group.
Yeah, she could maybe that's what her job can transition into, is she just becomes like this
recruiter for Disney.
Almost like mafioso boss of Disney employees with Williams syndrome. And she's the well, not mafioso boss. We'll just say like a union leader.
Yes.
So Brendan, yeah, you talked a little bit in the interview with Leo about going to Buffalo. That's really that's awesome. That it'll be nice to have someone who's sort of done these things, so that we can, you can be able to share with people like, hey, if you're gonna do what's the boat?
Maid of the Mist, and if you want. People can go to my Facebook and my Instagram.
Yeah.
It's all over there. It's all on social media.
And see a very wet Brendan.
Oh yeah, like the three-chinned Brendan and that photo.
I wasn't gonna bring that.
I have not made it public.
I was not gonna say anything about the multiple chinitude, but
oh yeah.
But it'll be nice to be able to like, okay, yeah, you need to,
this one.
Oh my God, I love it so much.
Oh, that one.
But yeah, it'll be nice to like, oh, hey, well, you will get wet, you will, bring a change of shoes and socks or whatever.
Soaked thoroughly.
Oh no.
So,
yeah.
I'm gonna have to go on a hair day that will allow that, because when you're a girl, sometimes you don't wash your hair for several days. So I gotta plan it on the last day of my hair. I'll get it wet, and then I'll go.
Yep, and then you gotta go, okay, now I gotta go do something about this.
But yeah, Buffalo was really, really cool, and it was perfect weather, so it made it even better.
Awesome. And you were talking about how you went on the Canadian side, went on the Rainbow Bridge, so that's a great reminder to people. If you want to be able to do any of that stuff, make sure you get your passport.
Yeah, we walked, but you can drive over too.
Yeah.
But my bio dad and I, we walked over, and it wasn't that far. It was less than half a mile walk both ways.
Oh, you felt it was manageable, because sometimes people.
Yeah, for me, we have walking sticks, so which helped, and really got to pace yourself if you're gonna do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
The trolleys that you don't have to walk.
Poor Brendan, man, he's also freezing at these amazing facial expressions.
You're freezing at these amazing facial expressions. It was a really good one. We should have caught it.
I'll screen cap that one and send that one to you.
Pay to get on or off the trolley, on and off when you want.
Cool. Well, speaking of walking the Rainbow Bridge and all stuff, we've had a bunch of walks going on in fall walks, which to me are exciting. May is Williams Syndrome Awareness Month, and I know in the Twin Cities we used to always try to schedule our walk in May to go along with it. But in Minnesota in May, you literally never knew what you were going to get weather-wise, and we had a stretch where it was cold and snowy and rainy. So we said let's move it to the fall, where we tend to have a little bit more consistency in our weather. And so we just had our walk in the Twin Cities, not this past Saturday, but the Saturday before. And Jen, you got one coming up.
Yeah. And it's the same, in our area, our walk, we never usually have it in May, because in Colorado, you could either be snowy or, rainy. And so we have typically pushed it out until July, and then it's like hot and miserable usually. So this year is the first year that we've had it in September. And you guys, it's supposed to be like 80 and beautiful. We usually do it early morning, so it probably won't be at 80. So I think it's going to be like, yeah, I think this might be like a new trend for Colorado. Let's
That's
just do
great.
it like fall, make it nice, enjoyable.
I guess when you're a continental climate like we are in, in Colorado and in Minnesota, stuff like this is better. So I will say we didn't think we were going to have a walk in the Twin Cities. Two new families stepped up and did a spectacular job.
Crushed it.
Yeah, our walk turned out really good. Do you guys have anything? Do you have anything and anything super fun planned for the walk? Because you're essentially doing this walk, aren't you?
Sort of, yeah. Similarly to you guys, we are in a bit of a transition year. So our person who, Lisa, who has ran the walk for all of the years, is my understanding, she could not take on that full responsibility this year because she had a knee surgery and has been limited in mobility and all of the things. So I am co-chairing. She's still advising us, thankfully, because I need all of the advice. And then Bill Palmer and I are co-chairing this walk. But unlike you guys, I set the bar real low because I'm like, I'm just gonna keep it simple. We're gonna do what we've always done, and then I'm gonna learn what we've done. And next year, opportunity for more things. But our walk is we live in a smaller region as well. I mean, there's just not as many Williams syndrome families, and because of the geography of Colorado, everything is a drive, a really long drive.
I was gonna say you're pretty spread out. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we're expecting to have about 200 people, and we're just gonna, keep it fun. Like, we're gonna do our walk. We're going to celebrate our individuals in the community who have Williams syndrome. We're gonna eat because, if there's no thing that I'm gonna plan that doesn't have food, so we're gonna eat.
The other thing that I was going to share with you guys is starting this afternoon. Friends of the show and of course people know the theme song for this show, "You Need a Friend," by Tommy Barbarella and Mariella Elm. That is from the song is from their musical, "The Girl Who Cried Different." And the show is getting an official workshop starting this afternoon at a theater here in the Twin Cities. I get to be a part of it. I'm very excited to listen and take notes and give my thoughts as an actor, give my thoughts as a parent, and give my thoughts as a person, who works for the WSA. So it's exciting.
Oh, that's amazing.
Cool.
Yeah, congratulations, Mariella and Tommy and everybody involved. That's super cool.
So we got Leo.
Yeah, Leo.
Today. Leo, bless him. He's been patient. He was one of the first people to reach out asking. He was so excited about this podcast when we started it over a year ago. And he was like, whenever I can be on, please let me know. And it just sort of felt like the right moment to have him on.
Like, I love that he was so patient. A lot of our community is like desperate to be on this show. And we always say, like, there will be a time, right? You have to be patient with us. And we do have a rhyme and reason with which sometimes we work. And this was Leo's time. And what a kind dude. Like, I just love his energy. And I'm like, how did we not meet before this?
Yeah, I've known Leo for like over 12 years, and he's a funny dude and a good dude.
You
And
can definitely tell that he's a leader in the community, and that he wants to be of service to others, and that's what we need.
well, let's get to it then.
Shall we?
All right. Yep. Here we go. Yep. In Heart Sue, there we go.
Well, hello, Leo. How are you?
I am doing amazing. It is so good to see you guys.
Yeah. So it's really good to see you too. For those who don't know who you are, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself
Well, hello,
About yourself.
guys. My name is Leo Ryan. I am 34 years old. I live with my mom and dad and my two dogs, and I have Williams syndrome.
Where do you live, Leo?
I live in Mansfield, Mass.
Okay, okay, cool. So how right now are you guys transitioning to fall or like did you just go straight
Yes.
to winter?
No, we're transitioning right now into fall. It kind of happened overnight, which I was not
Yeah.
Yeah.
expecting. I was like, oh, why is it cold now? Like, where did the sun and heat go?
I feel the same way here because I'm in Colorado and so all of a sudden now like my house is
Yeah.
freezing, we're
Yeah.
chilly. Yeah. I was saying, but when we got on the call, I don't know if I've met you before, but you said you came to Phoenix, right?
hmm
Okay, well, I want you to tell us about your convention experience because you said you hadn't been to convention in a while.
Yeah, so the Phoenix convention, I volunteered. I volunteered with the toddlers and the teenagers.
Oh,
So it was really great to kind of help out in that aspect and kind of do different things with the toddlers because like I feel like they look up to the older kids now.
so you did toddlers and teenagers? Hopefully not at the
Yes.
same time. Lot. That's a lot to manage.
No, so I think I did, I don't remember how many days I did toddler, but I know I did like a few days with the toddlers and then I asked if they needed help anywhere else and they put me with the teenagers. So I helped out with the teenagers
What
on
was more
like
chaotic, toddlers or the teenagers?
the
Which one was more?
toddlers. They were so cute. It reminded me of me like when I was their age and how being that age it's so different now looking back and being like, "Oh, I know how it feels like I was you."
Yeah. Right.
So,
I just wanted to hold them when I saw all those little babies. There's some without Williams syndrome because our convention includes siblings, but all of the
right.
ones with Williams syndrome, how quickly you forget how adorable those little muffins are.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I had when I was helping out, I had twin brothers that were in my group, and I felt bad for the other brother, because he was crying because his dad was leaving him, and he didn't really like understand, so he kind of grabbed onto me, and I held him most of the time, and kind of supported him, and was there for him when he needed me, you know. So
Hmm.
that's
Do you like kids?
I love kids. Yeah.
No, that's good. I love that. So, did you always grow up in the Northeast or where? Like, tell us
No, so
about
I was
your.
born in Albany, New York in
Mm.
1990, and then we moved down to Massachusetts in 93. So I've been living here for 32 years now.
Okay, okay. So you in the same house? Like, did you grow
Yes.
up and like, okay, okay. Oh, well, tell us about that because I think it's always interesting to hear about the journey of like being a person in your community with Williams syndrome.
So living here is great. I love living with my mom and dad. I am the only child in my
Okay.
family, so I have no other brother or sisters, but that's okay. It's pretty awesome. I love living with my parents, and we do different things every day, and we travel a lot sometimes, so it's great.
Growing up, how was school for you?
School was okay. I did get bullied a lot when I was in school, but you just got to kind of learn to overcome it and kind of keep moving forward.
Yeah, yeah. The bullying is a big thing. How was high school for you? Was it still like kind of the
High
same?
school
Like,
was less stressful than middle school was because there wasn't
okay,
much bullying going on in high school, which was great.
good.
There was a
Yeah,
lot of people that, knew who I was, and they're like, listen, we have your back. We support you here. Yeah, and it was
that's
great.
good.
I
And
was
like,
part of a group called Project Teammate at our school in
okay,
Mansfield. I went to all the schools in Mansfield, and yeah, I did theater for a lot.
mm,
I've done mostly
fun.
theater and marching band.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was pretty cool to kind of be in theater and stuff. I could express myself in theater, and same with the marching band and stuff like that. So it was a great outlet, I think, for people with disabilities.
So you went through high school, and then like, what happened after high school for you?
So after high school, actually, I went back for a second year of high school, so I was a double senior.
Cool.
And then I graduated in 2009, and then in 2010, I think I was in college. I went to
Cool.
yeah, I went to college at Cape Cod Community. It's down at the Cape here in Mass.
So did you go for 2 years, 4 years? What was your what was college
Three.
like for you?
3 years.
3, okay. In the middle. What did you major in?
So my first year I did all different types of classes. There was animal care, child care, there was like retail, mass communications. So there was
Okay. So you got
different,
a bit of everything.
yeah. And then my second year I did mass communications, and that was pretty cool to learn about like the radio and how to be a radio host. And um I actually got the honor to internship at the radio station at the college. So I had
Ooh.
my own radio station. I did my own radio shows, played my own music, and then
You have to tell me about this because I sensed when I met you that you had like a great like radio personality. So this is all making sense. What was your radio show like?
it was cool. It was just talking about different topics, and talking about the weather for today, and what we have going on at the college, and what different events are happening around the Cape, and all different types of stuff. So it was really cool to kind of immerse myself into that kind of environment and kind of, just be myself.
So cool. And did that help you kind of decide now as you became an adult, like we're going to talk about it, right? Like what you do now for work, but did that pave your future interests?
So yes and no.
Okay.
So I did hospitality for my third year at college, and that's where that came into play for my job now. So I work at Gillette Stadium. I've been there for 5 years now. I work in food and beverage. I am part of the Robert Kraft organization. It's a great organization over there at the stadium. I work sometimes 4 hours, sometimes 12 hours, sometimes longer, depending on the event. But, I have good friends over there. And, they support me. They have my back. So it's great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You know what, Leo? I came from the food and beverage world as well. And I think I always love when people talk about jobs, like in the Williams syndrome community. And I always think for especially hospitality that like the Williams syndrome personality lends itself so well to that because like you guys are social. I mean, I'm assuming I can tell. I can tell. So I think it's a great fit. And I mean, to stay in that role for 5 years, that's a really long time because you guys probably get a lot of new employees, right? A lot of employees leaving, a lot of new.
Mostly every week or so, there's people new coming into our concession stand, and I'm meeting them, I'm helping them out. I kind of sometimes train them on the register, or we also have an ice cream stand as well at the stadium. So sometimes I also do ice cream during some games. So, and they've kind of like assigned me to be like a trainee for the new people on ice cream as well. So I train like sometimes I train people on different things.
Yeah.
So it's kind of great, and everybody's really nice and supportive. And
That's awesome. Do you work concerts too, right?
I work concerts. Sometimes I do private events, depending on, if they need me or not. But mostly I do concerts, soccer, and football.
Awesome.
So yeah, those are like my 3 priorities: is soccer, football, and concerts.
Do you have any good stories, like good work stories that you can tell us, like about people that you met or people that were jerks or what?
Give us some tea.
There's a lot
Tea.
that I could talk about Gillette Stadium. I mean, there's some that I probably shouldn't talk about because it's a little too much, but I've just met some really good people. I've worked some great concerts over the 5 years that I've been there, and it's awesome to see. I love people watching because it's so like interesting to see different people come into the stadium, and you see the same faces all the time. The same customers come back, and it's cool to kind of be like recognized and be like, "Hey, I know who you are," and I know so it's cool.
Do people recognize you? Like people that come back for events? Yeah.
Yeah.
I would think that they do. That's pretty cool. What's the best concert you've worked?
Oh my God, that's a good question. The best concert I think I liked was Elton John. Elton John was a really great guy, really great concert.
Garth Brooks, right?
I did Garth Brooks. Yeah, Garth Brooks was really cool. So,
yeah,
Garth Brooks. There's a lot that I like. So, I mean, I'd say all of them.
Yeah.
But those are the two that pop into my mind. So,
yeah. And the Patriots are in a rebuilding year, right? In football.
Yes, they just got a new coach. So we had home opening last Sunday against the Seahawks. We lost in overtime, unfortunately. But it's a rebuilding year for them. They have a lot of good potential, a lot of good players. They just need to keep working at it and keep doing what they have to do.
Yep.
So now, you said you work how many hours a week? It just depends on the events that you run?
It just depends on the event that I'm doing. Last Sunday was 12 hours because it was home opening, and usually after it's a 1:00 game. So we have 1:00 games, which are great. We go in the morning and then get out at night. And usually after our games end around 5:30, we have to stay because there's other games going on the TVs and people want to watch. So we stay open until second quarter of those other games. And then we kind of close, and then we start to kind of clean up, put stuff away, and get the concession ready for the next event that we work.
So 12 hour, a 12-hour shift is what you're working sometimes?
Yes. It's sometimes 12.
Okay. So that's very interesting to me, Leo, because I think that's a long shift for anybody.
I agree.
And for you, how is that a hard amount of time for you to work? Have you just gotten used to it? How?
I've kind of gotten used to it. So, I mean, it's pretty easy now for me to work 12 hours. Some days are better than others. It depends on how many people we have in club. So I work in the Putnam Club. Depending on how many guests we have at the stadium in the Putnam Club will determine how our day will go.
So are there things that, I don't know if this makes sense, but are there things that will lead you, things that you do to help you maintain that stamina, to do a 12-hour shift? Are there you listen to music, or you work out before, or you drink a lot of water? What?
Sleep.
Okay, sleep.
Yeah.
Sleep is so important to me when I'm working. Definitely, I try and get at least 8 or 9 hours of sleep before my work day.
Yeah.
So
8 or 9. And then will you have a day?
There's a camp.
We have a day off after that. Will you work a 12-hour day and then have a rest day?
Yeah. So, so I worked Sunday, and then I go back on October 5th for my next event.
Okay, great.
So we have kind of a long break time, which is great because then it helps my body recover from the day of work.
Yeah.
So I try and get in this sleep schedule, and
Yeah, it's like that for me when I used to work at a music camp. I was one of the mentors, and we would have to set up and break down.
Mm-hmm.
That would be 12 hours to set up, and then camp would run. Our longest day of camp would run from 8 in the morning until 10:30 at night.
Yeah.
And was it the same for you, Brendan?
Well, close to 60 hours a week.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Was it same for
That.
you? Oh, sorry, you're glitching a little bit on me, but I was saying, is it the same for you where like the best is like to work a long day and then rest for a couple of days before you go back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good tip, I think, for our community, because I think a lot of times, like work, well, for all of us, work can feel overwhelming, but especially when you have a disability, right? Like it doesn't matter what disability you have, but just
Right.
making sure put things in place to like help yourself manage that stress. And so I think a break is a really good way to do that. What do you do outside of work?
So outside of work, I volunteer for PGA golf tournaments. So I've
That's
done
cool.
every summer when I'm not working concerts or other events, I'm volunteering. So at golf tournaments, and it's a really great experience. I think a lot of people who have disabilities should volunteer for different things. Um, it's great to kind of get out there and help out with things, and it's really great. I like it.
That's awesome.
I think
Yeah,
Brendan's a big golf.
I've done a lot of golf tournaments. I think I've done 11 golf tournaments.
Cool. Are you a golfer as well?
My dad is a golfer, but I'm like a fan. More of a fan.
We need those too. Yeah. I think golf is a hard sport. I can't do it. I know Brendan
Yeah.
golf.
Yeah, I do for Special Olympics in my state in Connecticut. I didn't do it this year because of the convention, and I just had so many other things going
Yeah.
on. Next year, it's a definite.
When you volunteer, what does that look like in a golf, like for a PGA golf tournament?
So depending on what you want to do, there's so many different things you could do. For example, like I worked the women's golf tournament here in Norton, Mass, where I live in Mansfield, but Norton's like down the street.
Yeah.
And I did like media team. So what I did is I drove around a reporter for the day who was reporting for like ESPN
Cool.
and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And then I would also do like the next day I would do spotting. So I would spot where the ball landed. I would have like a little like microphone thing, and
Right.
I would report to the TV people and like the little like TV where they're set up and stuff.
Yep.
So that they know where to like kind of focus the camera on and stuff like that.
That is a really cool thing. I guess I didn't realize that there were so many different jobs that you could have at a golf outing.
Yeah, I also
Are those
do I also do like merchandise tent.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
So depending on merchandise tent, they'll have you either expediting things out to the floor or doing register, bagging, greeting. They have so many different positions in merchandise itself that you can do that it keeps you kind of busy and on your toes. So it's great.
Yeah. I sense that you like to be busy.
Yeah,
You
I
like
don't
to be-
like standing for a long period of time
Mm.
and doing nothing. Like I want to be able to do things and get things done.
Yeah, outside of like your work, what else do you like to do? Are you still in theater?
I've done drum corps. It's like marching band,
Cool.
but mostly that's pretty much it is volunteering and drum corps outside of work. Next summer, I'm actually going on the Adventure Seekers cruise that they have. So I
love it.
will definitely
good
be
time.
doing that.
Yeah, we should plug that right now, Joel. I don't know anything about it because I wasn't invited. Maybe you do. Pop in.
It's mostly on the Adventure Seekers page and on
It's a cruise designed for what? Our adventure seekers, which is like what age range?
20 and above.
Okay.
Yes.
20 and above. So it's going to be adults living their best life on a cool cruise ship.
It's
Well,
definitely
what
great.
going to be so fun. What else do you want this community to know about you if they don't know anything already? I mean, I think most
I
people.
just want them to know that they have support from older kids, that, they can always come to us if they need to talk about, if someone's bullying them, they can come to us and we can try and help them with the situation, like
Hmm.
instead of, getting mad or something, we could be like, "Hey, just block them. You don't need to worry about them bullying you, just block them." That's what I would tell them. And I'd also say, like, find a job that suits you. Get out there and job hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like that you're, which I'm very much the same way, that work is been a really fun part of your life that you enjoy.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, it gives you a lot of, like you said, responsibility, but it hopefully has also given you a lot in the community to like look for, like in terms of friends and people that you know. Are you well known in your community? Do you, like,
Yeah, I
do
think I'm
people like?
definitely well known. Everybody who has known me since I was little, definitely, I think I play a big part in the Williams-Sonoma community for sure.
What
So,
else do you want to do like in this next year? Do you have things that, like for me, I have a few things and I'm like, these are the things I got to do. I'm
um,
much older. I don't have as much
I
time
mean,
left.
right now it kind of just depends on what the future has for me right now, you know?
Okay. Okay. You seem like you're pretty like in the moment. Do you, which is interesting because I think a lot of times, like even myself included, I can obsess about like things that I want to do next. You're just go with the flow.
I'm kind of just go with yeah, I'm kind of more of just kind of laid back and go with the flow. Whatever my future has, will happen. One of my other kind of dream jobs, if you will, is to work at Disney. I would love to work at Disney World and do all that kind of stuff, and that'd be fun.
Yeah, that'd be good for you.
So that's kind of right now, it's kind of on like the back burner right now, but if it happens, it will happen. So we'll see.
We have a Williams syndrome friend that works at Disney. We have an in there. Now I'm envisioning like how do we get a Williams syndrome cohort to work at Disney? I'm going to work on this in my free time, you guys.
Do it.
Yes, that would be so
Personally.
awesome.
But Michelle, Alex's mom, she's the in. So I'll circle back
Yeah.
on this and see what I can do. That's really fun. Well, Leo, as we approach the end of the podcast time, you've been so fun. I
Very
cannot
fun.
believe I haven't met you because I really just want to hang out with you. You're so fun.
You and I go way
Everybody
back, don't
wants
we,
to kind of
buddy?
hang out with me. You're more than welcome to.
No.
Okay, I will next.
Yeah.
Tell us what you want people to know about Williams syndrome or just like your journey with Williams syndrome.
What I want people to know is that we don't have a manual. We weren't born with a manual. It's a rare genetic disorder. Yes, there are some people who have it more worse than we do, but I think we come out on the other side more confident, more happy. And I think also that work companies should give people who have disabilities a job, because
Yeah.
I think people with disabilities deserve to have jobs.
Facts.
That's what I would like to see happen in the near future. Or
Man, I love all that. Stella was clapping. I don't know if you could hear her, but she's off.
thank you.
Clapping. Oh, here she comes. Yeah, she's clapping for you.
Thank you,
Are we going to see you
Stella.
in Buffalo?
Yes, I will be in Buffalo, New York for the 2026 convention.
Brendan was just there.
Yep.
Yeah, me and him talked about it. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just there. Yeah. I didn't really get to go to the hotel and the convention center. Didn't get a chance to do that this time around, but which only means I get to see it for the first time at the convention, Yeah.
Did you find all the places to go though? Like the cool.
Yeah, no, it was really cool. We stayed in like a suburb of Buffalo called Cheektowaga, which is like 9 miles from Buffalo. So we were pretty close to like Niagara Falls, and the Maid of the Mist was really, really cool, which is the boat
Oh, the
that
boat. Yes, I've heard a lot about the boat.
boat that takes you directly into the falls, and then the Cave of the Winds, which is like where you get to walk into the falls, which was bananas. Yeah, it was intense. It's like hurricane force winds trying to blow you one way when you're trying to walk up slippery stairs and feet were soaking
Oh,
wet.
that is so cool. Like that sounds really
Yeah, it
fun.
was it was dope. It was so much fun. Um, and then we explored the Canadian side a little bit, which was cool. It was fun.
Good. I
Yeah.
can't wait to see you in Buffalo.
Yeah. Oh, and the cool thing about the park is they have a trolley that you can get a wristband for, so it can take you from like all the different areas. So, people with walking issues or,
Yeah.
stuff like that. It's like $3 for just like one wristband. And I'll take you all the things, all the places, all the spots. So,
That's fun. Good. I'm excited.
yeah.
Well, thank you, Neil, for being on the podcast.
You're welcome. If you viewers want to follow me, you guys can follow me on Facebook, Instagram. My Instagram is LeoJR_1990. My Facebook is Leo Ryan, LeoRyan. If you have any questions, message me on those platforms and I will be glad to help.
This has been the Starry-Eyed Podcast, presented by the Williams Syndrome Association. The show is hosted by Jennifer Keaton and Brendan Lemieux, and produced by me, Joel Listman. Theme song by Tommy Barbarella and Mariella Elm. Got a question for the show? Email us at podcast@williams-syndrome.org or message us at the Starry-Eyed Podcast page on Facebook. Video version of the podcast available on the Williams Syndrome Association channel on YouTube or on Facebook. Rate and review us on Apple Podcasts or comment on the video version and maybe it will be featured on a future episode. Make sure to like and subscribe to the Starry-Eyed Podcast wherever you get your podcast delights.